All right, hey guys, OFD checking in here on a Tuesday evening, and tonight we're going to look at another watch from NAVIFORCE. Now, what's cool about this is a actually it's under a sub $15 watch, guys, from NAVIFORCE. GearBest sent this out. Thank you, Iris, for getting this out to me on the channel to look at. This is going to be an analog digital feature on the channel here. Kind of a cool watch. Definitely has some good looks to it at the price of $14 and some change. Definitely something you guys can check out as a gift or something to use if you're just beating around with it and stuff like that. So let's get a look at it. NAVIFORCE. It's funny because all this talk of the whole Space Force thing had me thinking today. I was driving a lot for work and I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be cool if because of Space Force we get Starship Troopers? Because I think that'd be awesome, because one of my favorite movies of the 1990s, cheesy, good sci-fi action. But okay, guys, stop blabbing on OFD. Let's talk about the watch in question here. So I'm going to leave the reference number and a link to where you guys can pick one of these up down in the description below. So let's get it out. Now, this is pretty standard packaging from NAVIFORCE. You do get this fancy packaging here, just a plastic sleeve, which actually for a $15 watch, the fact that you get it labeled and inside of anything is pretty cool. Also inside of the packaging here, I'll go ahead and pull these things out. Get this in front of the camera. So you get this NAVIFORCE unique design for the Dream International Guarantee. Guys, you will probably not be able to use this anywhere outside of mainland China because that's just the way stuff is. Also, you will get this instruction manual here, which will cover a number of different languages and will give you pretty much a general idea of how to do some of the functions of your watch as far as settings and stuff like that. What the buttons are, it'll tell you up there A, B, C, and D and stuff like that. So I didn't really set up the camera to look at the instructions. I set it up to look at a watch. So let's get this up here in front of the camera here, guys. So all right, so what we have here is a NAVIFORCE analog digital watch. This watch definitely has some nice detailing to the dial underneath this mineral crystal. Now, I will tell you guys that at the website, they are calling this a Hardlex crystal. Now, you know, Hardlex gets thrown around at a lot of different websites and stuff like that. Now, I don't know if they're considering that like a fake sapphire, hardened mineral. I'm not really sure what that means because Hardlex is a Seiko term. But anyways, they're calling it a Hardlex crystal on this watch. But there is a lot of nice detail to this dial. As you guys can see, it is a raised dial with the indices and the minute track there on the outside. It almost has a almost cutaway pattern here for the 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock position that looks really nice. Also a text string and an applied logo, it appears, on the dial there. Now, as you guys can see over here between the, I guess you'd say like the 8 o'clock and the 11 o'clock position on there, you do have some movement as far as countdown kind of timer. I don't think it really does anything as far as that goes. But above that, as you guys can see, you do have the day of the week. As you guys can see there, between the 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, Tuesday is highlighted as being the day of the week, which is pretty darn accurate because it's Tuesday. So, all right, guys, getting into the functions of this watch, actually, you guys can see, now I'm going to go ahead and stop it. One thing I wanted to show you is I set this a few days ago, and I set the analog hand, second hand, to the digital down there, and it's keeping really, really good time. I've had this watch for like 4 days. Now, I haven't worn it, and so maybe that would affect that. If this gets bumped too hard, maybe it would, you know, it's going to be a low torque quartz movement, so maybe that would knock it off. That could actually happen. So, but well, let me go ahead and move the hands out of the way here, guys, so we can get a look at the, you know, a little bit more of the dial of this watch. So, all right, get these over here kind of out of the way. So now we can see that readout down there at the bottom. Now, let me show you some of the functions on this watch. Now, if we push this button here, guys, that'll give me the alarm time that it's set for. It's set for 5:31 p.m. Now, over here, you guys can see we have this top button. If I hold this bottom one down, push the top button, you guys can see I can actually turn on and off the alarm and the chime function. Now, I don't think you can turn those off separately. As far as I know, I think they're both set and synced like that. Once you turn on the alarm, you're turning on the chime also. But kind of cool, kind of a neat deal. Now, if you push just this bottom one down here, let's see, wait, actually, no, if you push the top one, that will give you the month and the date. So 8/14, we know it's Tuesday by the readout up here. So over here at this lower 8 o'clock position with this pusher, you can move it to the stopwatch position. Get that stopwatch going there. You can do split timing with this. So in other words, you can stop it, record a time of a runner at 5, let's say 82, and then restart it, catch back up, stop it again, time another event, stuff like that. So then you stop it here at the top, clear it down there. Very simple functionality on this watch. You can move it through. Once you get to here, this is where you can actually change the time of your alarm there. So I can change it to 7, 8:30, 9:30 p.m. I can remember to shut this off. I always forget, and my wife comes running in the morning. She's like, you got that watch going off. The alarm's going crazy. So you can set it that way. So anyways, very cool watch, very simple functions. And right here, of course, you get the cool little backlight function. It lasts for 3 seconds. So looking at the case of the watch, this is an alloy coated case. I'm not exactly sure what the coating is, guys. Now, forgive me, I forgot to take off the protective coating on the buttons there. So they're not blue in real life. This is actually just a protective coating on the buttons. And as you guys can see here, it does have the signed crown. I do believe the crown is a polymer plastic or something like that. The watch comes on a nice leather strap with the NAVIFORCE logo on it, and at a $15 price point, sub $15 price point. I think that's a great deal. Genuine leather, it says there. Whether that is a pulp and reconstituted leather, I'm not really sure. Kind of like those school hamburgers and stuff, guys. NAVIFORCE for the dreams. Unique design, and we have this 30 meters water resistance. Now, usually that's called life water resistance for splashes and stuff like that. I wouldn't suggest swimming with the watch on, you know, but heck, for 15 bucks, give it a whirl. You never know. I have a old Smith & Wesson Commando digital that I've done everything with. I've swam to the bottom of the pool, done everything, and it's working great. Never had a problem. So, but read the manufacturer's thoughts on that, guys, before you go doing that. Don't take OFD's advice. So I'm going to pause the camera, and we're going to get this on the wrist. And then we'll go out with the Loom Shot, guys, because it does have Loom on the hands besides the backlight function. So give me a second. All right, guys, so there is the NAVIFORCE on my 7-inch wrist, and it actually looks kind of tough. I think it's kind of cool looking. Good looking watch, definitely. The nice thing about these watches with the analog and the digital is obviously it's very simple to set that analog handset. You know, it's not tied to the day or the date. So you can just move that to where you need to if you're traveling to a different time zone or something like that. Very quick and easy, especially, you know, say you're traveling and you want to have dual time zones, 15 bucks. You can throw this in the collection really quick and have that. So very cool. Now, guys, a lot coming up on the channel. As a matter of fact, I want to bring this up. I want to show you guys this. This is a Franken-Turtle I just picked up. Got it on the channel. Now, I say Franken-Turtle, and the reason I say it's a Franken-Turtle is because it's not all original, but I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about if you can get a good watch, you know, is it worth it if you get it at a low price and stuff like that, even though it's not all original. And then I have another one from GearBest. I don't want to show you too much on that one. Another Guangshin special coming up. So, all right, guys, this has been the NAVIFORCE. I'm not sure the reference number off the top of my head, but check the link down below. Check the title for that reference number. So, awesome, cool watch for sub $15, guys. All right, let's go ahead and go out with a Loom Shot. Just give me a second to dim the lights. Okay, so remember, this is a watch with like that backlight, that, you know, Indiglo or whatever you want to call it, LED, I don't know, function. You can light the dial up. So not a lot of lume, but the hands do have lume in them. So there you go. So if you want to keep track of that separate time zone at night, I'd suggest just, you know, blowing it up with the light, and you'll probably have lume for a little bit, not all night. You know, but why are you checking your watch at night? All right, guys, this has been the NAVIFORCE video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom. And if you've not subscribed to the OFD channel yet, please do. Please do. All right, thanks, guys.